Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Matt Hayes. This is my son Calvin. Calvin, the dino expert. And this is really the first episode because we're going to have our first battle today. Calvin, tell us about the battle. Who is in the first fight?
So if you look on your tournament page or your bracket, you should know this. It's Allosaurus versus Metriacanthosaurus. Now, like I said in the previous video, Allosaurus is much larger, almost like twice as large, 26 feet, versus, well, Metriacanthosaurus is only 15 feet long. So that's the size. But Metriacanthosaurus does have much stronger bite force.
He does. And before, let's in case somebody's new and didn't see the first one, let's remind them. If you look in the comments, we have a bracket that you can download. There's 16 dinos in this tournament, right?
Yep.
So 8 fights, single elimination, and this is the first fight. So if you haven't done it yet, we just encourage you to download your brackets and fill them out, and then off we go. So so Allosaurus and Metriacanthosaurus. You know I love Allosaurus.
Yes, I do.
So let's start there. Tell us a little bit about Allosaurus.
So Allosaurus, compared to Metriacanthosaurus, is much larger, has huge claws, but not the size of like Spinosaurus, like Baryonyx and Spinosaurus and Oxalia. But still very large claws. Does not have a strong bite force. Uses its axe bite force to slash through its enemy's skin. So that'd be pretty useful against Metri. Also, he might be a little faster than Metriacanthosaurus, although being the larger dinosaur. So that's his more of attacking moves. And his looks, well, we showed you also in the other video, but
We'll show him again, right?
yeah, he has 2 red crests coming out of his head.
Those aren't horns?
No, those aren't horns. They're just crests.
Okay.
And then
And how big is he?
26 feet.
And where did he live?
He lived in North America, and he probably hunted Stegosaurus, but the easier move would have been Cantosaurus.
Who?
Cantosaurus.
What's that?
It's another animal that Allosaurus hunted.
What
We'll show you him.
Okay. What kind of it? What kind is he? A Stegosaurus?
He's a Hadrosaur.
Hadrosaur.
And then, so that's
What period is Allosaurus?
Jurassic.
Jurassic.
Allosaurus is fast, but he doesn't have a lot of stamina.
Okay.
So in a chase, if Allosaurus was chasing Metriacanthosaurus, Metriacanthosaurus would go a lot quicker because Allosaurus doesn't have that much stamina. So that's Allosaurus, and the Metriacanthosaurus is smaller. Had really small arms and cool, kind of like lines in the game.
In the game.
Yeah, in the game, lines.
And he's from, I think you told me he was from Europe?
England.
England, yes.
Europe.
So he's the British dinosaur.
So no, because also there's Baryonyx there, and Iguanodon, and Polocanthus.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so easy. All right, so let's talk about who we think is going to win.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think Allosaurus is going to win just because of his larger size. Metriacanthosaurus may be able to get a little more bites in, but Allosaurus' bites would have been more effective, not because of the strength of the bite, but because of the slashing bite.
Right.
And I don't think Allosaurus would use his claws much, Although Metriacanthosaurus could easily get some big bites in, so it's gonna be hard to know who would win. I feel like, yeah, Allosaurus would win.
You feel like me too. Mostly because that's one of my favorite dinosaurs, and but because he's bigger, that's what I think is that I feel like big helps you because they're kind of the same.
Like more like bulky, not like big, not like light, but like
Just
bulky.
Bulkier, yeah. Now you're saying though the Metriacanthosaurus has a bigger bite force.
Metriacanthosaurus does have a much stronger bite force.
Okay.
But Allosaurus doesn't use his bite force, he uses the axe attack, so that doesn't really matter.
Right.
But Metriacanthosaurus' bites just would be more effective.
Okay. All right. Well, should we go play the game? I know you've got the battle pen set up. Should we go turn them loose and see what happens?
Yeah.
All right. Let's battle.
Here we go. Our first combatant is Metriacanthosaurus. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did, bud.
Okay.
He's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, he's not very large,
He looks like a T-Rex to me.
but look at his tiny little crest.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
there.
Yep, right above his eyes.
Yeah,
That's
and
what you were
he's
talking about?
much smaller than T-Rex. His head is a little more short and bulkier.
Okay, he does have little arms, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, he looks pretty fierce, so now I'm wondering about my choice of Allosaurus.
And Allosaurus is much, much larger.
Here he comes.
His large crest that's red.
He looks awesome.
Look at his large claws, like I mentioned.
Oh yeah, they are huge.
And very quick.
Are they gonna fight right away, or what's the? Whoa!
Oh,
whoa,
wow.
Heyo.
Allosaurus, as you see, is much, much larger.
Yeah, he is. Oh, whoa! He got the first
Oh.
bite. Allosaurus got the first bite.
Because of its speediness.
Oh,
Oh.
Metri's back at him. Ooh, he knocked him back a little bit.
He knocked him like almost off the hill. Let's check on Metri. It seems like a pretty even match.
Yeah, so far it looks like they're just
Squaring off.
kicking the crumb out of each other. What's?
Whoa.
Oh! There's Metri's got him.
Metri.
Yeah, and this is closer than I thought it was going to be. Oh, then
Wow.
Metri gets
Low
Allo.
health.
Allo gets Metri. I think next bite kind of is going to do it here.
Maybe, but Metri still needs to get a couple more bites in if he's gonna kill the Allo.
Oh.
It looks like he's limping a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yep.
Oh! To the head. Bite. Oh.
Well, you know what? That's awesome. What a great first fight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you think about that fight?
Well, I wasn't really that surprised because Allosaurus is much larger, and although Metriacanthosaurus got more bites in, the Allosaurus used his slashing bites only like 3 times, I think. And
It seemed like every time he bit Metri, that Metri's health went down a lot more.
yeah, because I think Allosaurus' slashing bite makes Metriacanthosaurus also lose blood, so it makes a lot more damage. But Metriacanthosaurus put up a good fight to Allosaurus.
He did.
And Allosaurus is now one of our new winners.
Yep.
So,
Oh, let's talk about what we're going to do with the winners.
yeah.
So the winners, Calvin built, what would you call them? Pens?
Tiny pens where the dinosaurs can lay down, the winning dinosaurs, and they rest until their next fight happens, and then we transport them into the fighting cage, and then start fighting.
Yeah. So Allosaurus is the winner. He's our first winner. And let's fill. You'll see. We'll fill the bracket in now, so you can see Allosaurus as our first one to move on to the round of 8. And what about our next match, bud? We'll do that next week, but let's just give a quick preview. Who is it, so folks can be looking forward to it?
It's Tyrannosaurus Rex versus Saurapelta. I personally think Tyrannosaurus Rex will win. Although Saurapelta has that big armor plates, those armor are super small, and T-Rex could easily pierce through some of it, but not all of it.
Right.
Although Saurapelta has those giant spikes,
Right.
Saurapelta will go too slow,
Okay.
and T-Rex could easily dodge it
Yeah.
or have it do less damage.
Yeah. Well,
Saurapelta might not even get one hit.
on T-Rex. All right. Well, let's save it for next week.
Yeah.
Let's not give away too much.
Yeah.
But we do want you guys, if you're following along, to download your own tournament bracket. Fill it in. It's not too late. You get a free one because you know Allosaurus won, but fill in the rest. Calvin and I got ours filled in. We'll show you Calvin's bracket and my bracket next week. And until then, what do we say?
Goodbye.
Goodbye.